All righty, and let's play it. Okay. My name is Kimberly Stewart Lucas of Warrior Mamas and Absolutely Divine Events, and this is another episode of Dish with the Doulas. Thank you so much for joining us. Let the music play. That's my nod to RuPaul to let the music play. All right, so again, I am honored to be here and speaking to my guest today, Tracie Collins, who is the founder and president of the National Black Doulas Association. Tracie, thank you so much for joining me again. Take two. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time for me again. I really do appreciate it. So,
I understand technical difficulties.
And we will profess that that will not happen today. In learning about you, I know that you, doula, midwife, you're no longer practicing, correct? But please tell me what inspired you to start the National Black Doula Association?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me what inspired me to get into this field.
Well, you want to start there? We can go there.
I don't think you want to hear my answer.
Okay. Is there something on, is there TracieCollins.com and get that story?
No. So what inspired me to start the NBDA was just a simple question. Where are the Black doulas? Being from Oakland, and when I started out in this field a long time ago, I was one of only two, and in the year 2000.
Really?
And fast forward, 2017, I just wanted to find others that look like me and create a database and a resource for them to be found and for parents to find them. So that's the short story. That was my vision. Now you ask God, it's a whole nother.
What was the creator's master plan?
Ooh, child. The creator's plan was, but we hear you, but we're going to really propel it where it needs to be.
We're going to expand that vision.
Well, yeah. And so it's a wonderful thing to be gifted with abilities, but also to have, people who believe in that. And I will say now the NBDA is full of women that look like me who believe in the vision that God gave me, and so in a nutshell.
Okay. And it's interesting, I think, because I've surrounded myself around, I'm part of a beautiful birth community. Again, I'm not a doula, but I've had 3 amazing unassisted home births. And because of the work that I'm doing now with the show, when you and other doulas say there are not a lot of us around, or people it's hard to find, it's like, really? I know a whole bunch. But I have to remind myself that that's not the norm. Like, I'm in the community. I seek but a lot of people, they're saying it's hard to find women who look like them to be their doulas. Remember. Now, let me ask you this. Could you break it down for those that may not know, because I've been asked this by some moms to be, what is the difference between a doula and a midwife?
It's real simple. The midwife is medical.
Okay.
And doula is not. That's the simplest way to break it down. The midwife does everything medical. So she'll check the fundal height, she'll check the BP, she'll check the heart tones, she'll check the urine, she'll do all of those things that you would have done at a regular doctor visit, including deliver baby. And then also immediate postpartum follow-up care. And the doula is non-medical, so her role or their role is to provide emotional, physical, and informational support.
Excellent. Now, do you find that some doulas do some of those things? Is that taboo?
We'll talk about that. So you don't think you want me to talk about that?
Well, actually, now you've sparked a thing. Should they be doing those
No,
things or no?
they should absolutely be not be doing those things unless that is within their scope of practice. What does that mean? It means that they have been trained um, or are a
Mhm.
midwife. In that particular case, that you're operating under that scope of practice. You're not operating under the scope of practice as a doula. Oftentimes, doulas who cross that line open up themselves to potential liabilities
Yes.
and potential felonies, which is
Hmm.
practicing medicine without a license. And you don't want to jeopardize your safety, your well-being, let alone jeopardize the safety and well-being of a birthing family. Absolutely not.
Thank you for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I've heard that from a doula.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wear two hats.
You,
So, I mean, when it comes to this particular field,
yes.
and because I know both of those hats very well,
Mhm.
I know what scope of practice is what. I do not, nor does the MBDA advocate for doulas assisting in unassisted births. That's not your space. You need to refer out to trained practitioners who can support that birthing family. If that's a liability that that family is choosing to take on for themselves, then you should not put yourself in a situation and or environment, because if shit goes haywire, which there's often a chance of that in birth, because birth can go any kind of way, you're looking at being taken away from your family for a very long time, if found liable. And so, and even if you're not found liable, just even in being in an environment, where something has happened, you are a part of that situation, and you don't want to put yourself there.
Yes. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for that. For all the reasons that we
can talk about it offline. How about that?
Yes, let's that.
Yeah.
I truly appreciate that. So, I know you'd mentioned also that you have seen an increase in your membership for the association. And that's one thing that you said that kind of serves what's going on right now, because there's so much going on as far as policy, as far as involvement during this time of COVID-19, during this pandemic, with a lot of rules at different facilities, hospitals being changed. Can you speak to some of the changes that you've seen and some of the changes you've had to make with your association?
So our membership just kind of grows steadily. That's one thing that has really never stopped or been affected. But what we're seeing is I mean, our trainings never stayed open for a long period of time, but now I think the training calendar for 2020 is about to close. So we are already filling up November's birth doula training, and people are willing to wait, or people who've been trained by other associations or other organizations want to be trained by us. So that is what we're seeing. It's like, okay, it was already hard to keep this full, or not to keep it full, to it was already not hard. It was, but now it's like, okay, we can't train fast enough. And so that's what we're seeing. One of the things that will be happening with the MBDA, COVID-19 has shifted us in some ways. So that's the positive side. Another positive thing is that we will be launching our own instructors nationally. So you'll see that come 2021. So Tracie doesn't have to do all of the trainings, and I can kind of focus on other areas. So that will be happening in 2021. That was supposed to happen this year, but because of COVID-19, it's just like, I just can't focus on that right now. And it's a good thing, because it just continues to allow me to perfect and refine the curriculum. And, so our trainings will continue to be strong. And when we bring on our instructors, they have a great syllabus to stand on, that they can bring their sauce to, that they can bring their spin to. They have a great foundation to teach from. So, and then another way that COVID-19 has shifted us is like not being a fan of online trainings at all, because I'm old school when it comes to that interpersonal connection in this field. However, However, due to the current climate and the climate that is going to be from here on out for a very long time, I don't see this shifting anytime soon. Just like every other business, we've had to make those adjustments and changes to, virtual trainings. And so now come 2021, what I'm, forecasting is that we'll have a balance of virtual trainings and in-personal trainings as well. So that's what it's looking to be come next year.
And that covers
as of this year, we're playing it, or I'm playing it really close to, what's going on in the climate. And it looks like pretty much almost every training is going to either be pushed out or transition to an online platform for the remainder of 2020.
And that meets having that balance for next year. It meets the, right now, the scope of safety and security that people have. For those that want to do online, that's available. And for those that are open to do in person, that's also available. So I like that.
But that won't be until, that part won't be until 2020, where I'm going to allow somebody else to make the decision as far as where they want to be when it comes to the MBDA, because one of the bad things about being a leader is that you have to also take the brunt. You have to take the rap. So when we had to transition our summit to a virtual platform, in a matter of hours, I had to do that. And that was in March of this year. We had our first weekend wellness summit that was planned to be March 14th and 15th. And it was at, a beautiful hotel down in downtown Decatur. And we had over 250 people that were pre-purchased tickets, not to mention those that will be coming through the door. So I fell under the guidelines of, if you have over 250 people gathering in one spot. This is when the influx of COVID-19 was like, everybody, we hear about it, but weren't taking it so seriously. But as a business owner, it's like, I have to take it seriously. And unfortunately, the way information gets filtered, it was like there were other areas that were being impacted stronger. So the media, or the media attention and focus, were in the content of information that was being shared on those, like in the Northeast or on the West Coast, was much more accurate than what was being filtered down here to Georgia. So people weren't understanding. So I looked like, I was called all kind of things. I was called a scammer. I was called I was called a thief. I was called all kind of things, but it was because we transitioned it to an online platform because we had to make sure everybody was safe, and it was a huge event, and there was a lot of money for us that was lost. But that's what
a leader has to do, like you said.
That's what a leader has to do.
Making decisions, and when people make those criticisms, it makes me wonder, and I want to ask, well, when you had a conference and a pandemic was on the rise, what did you do?
Well, most people,
and they don't know because they've never had to do that.
Yeah, they don't know, and so but the flip side to that was people still attended. They were like, okay, well, we can't come physically, but they attended virtually, and they felt that they were able to get much more from it because they were able to benefit from all of the workshops. Exactly. And they received the recordings from them also, so they can go back and watch. And it was an information filled weekend, and like our presenters were just like, all right, this is how we going. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the pivot. We're gonna switch with you. So it was stressful, but it just ended up being so beautiful at the same time. And this is life, and we have to navigate accordingly.
And doing events, I know you will not please everyone. And if you stay focused on what the mission and your intention of, like you said, giving the information and providing that, which it sounds like that's what happened, and then some, that's all you can do.
Yeah, and we got a lot of great positive feedback. So and what I do appreciate was the fact that we kind of, now that you see a whole bunch of virtual summits, but we were on the ground floor of that. So
you were part of kicking that off.
I was like, okay, I see it.
Exactly. Well, there is another something new that you're kicking off, and it's going to be this weekend for our time. but can you talk to me about the National Black Doulas Association magazine?
Oh, so yeah, there's a magazine that's launching on Mother's Day, and what's happening is, um, the team and I, and we had a great virtual launch over the weekend, and listening to other women, um, we decided to really broaden what it was about and making it more about Black women versus birth. Stop it. Oh, sorry. Go out. Go. So it's launching on Mother's Day, and it's just really focusing on us as a whole versus like birthing no babies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're more than that. We're more than that. So it's really shining the light on us as individuals, and for women to stop identifying themselves with those who came out of their vagina or those who go into their vagina or their careers, and those who identify as women as well. So I was actually working on that this morning and getting that, because there's some, we're wrapping up, not wrapping up, but we're getting ready to have it launched. So it's exciting, and I'm interested to see how it's going to grow. More than anything, I think that's where my head is. It's like,
where is this going to take us?
Where is it going to grow to? Like, how is this going to, because what I had for the association wasn't what the creator had. And I am a believer that we are created by a creator to create. So just being a natural creative being, and it's easy for me to create anything. Like if I say, okay, I could do that, then I'll just do it. But I also understand that I don't have like my source of power. And so when you open up your channel and your energy space to that, giving honor to the creator and to our ancestors, that whole, when you take them on, it's like, okay, it really swells.
You asked for it.
Yeah, it really swells. And so that's kind of where my head is. I know people are like, yeah, it's coming, but it's like, okay, yeah, it's coming, but yeah.
There's more to it, because right now, how often will the magazine, and you said that's up in the air of how often you'll do it, or right now?
Right now, sorry, I have my Instacart order. Right now, it's slated for 4 issues. So it'll be a digital magazine, and it will be once a quarter. So winter, spring, summer, fall. So since it's spring, it's going to be launching on Mother's Day. But I can't go with that right now. But what's happening is, contingent upon the content, contingent upon what's going on, contingent upon whatever we want to do. If we want to throw a couple of more issues in, we can, we have the ability to do that, because we're not dealing with print.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, we're not dealing with all of that. And I believe, like, having as much control as possible as far as distribution is really important to me. And I really wanted it to be easily accessible to our audience. So people who subscribe, they can be, so the NBDA is actually just a platform for it. And, how we choose to move about it is, that's the part that I'm interested to see.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to the premiere issue, and to see where it grows.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I love your graphics and how you all represent in your brand. So I'm a Libra, so aesthetics for me are like, ooh, the colors, ooh, the plant. Ooh, I love it. So, but I know the content will be amazing as well. And the fact that you are expanding it beyond just about birth.
Yeah.
That speaks to me as a woman who is a mother of 3, who is a wife, it's like, okay, those are choices and things that's my life, but there's also Kimberly.
Yeah. And exactly. And that's who we want to celebrate. We're celebrating Kimberly. You know what I mean? It's like, That's how we roll. So, and me being a Libra and a daughter of Oshun is about beauty, and that's who we are. It's like we navigate to aesthetics and to peace and balance. And don't disrupt my harmony, because on the other side of this, it ain't nothing nice. And you may think I don't like confrontation. No, I'm actually protecting you from your hurt feelings that I'm gonna give you. So,
I'm a child of Oya. So.
okay, are you? Whoo, y'all, you see what I'm saying? So y'all, I mean, but hey, so that.
She said, hey, hey. I love it. I love it. Well, one thing I do want to ask, taking it back to the doulas, another question that I get from new moms to be, and again, during this time, a lot of people are making a shift in their birth plan and are seeking doulas.
Mm-hmm.
How would you, or what would you suggest is the best path in finding the best doula for you?
First thing is first, don't be swayed by someone's number of births that they've attended. Because some of the best doulas are ones who don't even have that many births under their belt. Some of the best doulas are the ones who haven't even given birth themselves. Some of the, there's some, dynamic male OBGYNs, they will never pass a child through their penis, ever, but are exceptional at their work. So it really is about intuition and how you feel. Listen to your gut, because it is going to guide you, and don't be swayed by, yes, experience is important, absolutely, but it's not everything. Also, what else? Oh, go over to the MBDA website. Go to blackdoulas.org.
There you go.
And you don't have to be Black to patronize these Black businesses. You don't have to.
And this is where I'm going to follow those instructions you gave me. You go
Doula
down to
directory. You can click on Doula Directory.
Okay.
And that'll lead you to, doulas in your particular area. We are launching a new website May 15th, so I'm excited about that piece. But yeah, you'll be able to find doulas there. And then if you click on the more section, there's questions for parents to ask a potential doula.
Questions to ask a doula. Excellent. Which I love this. This is, you've provided a guide, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, and you break it down by birth doula, postpartum doula, and this particular specialty. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And, yesterday, like I said, I listened to one of your conversations with another midwife, and you were talking about, and again, this is blackdoulas.org, blackdoulas.org. But you were talking about the postpartum phase. And I have to say to you, that was the first time, as I was listening to you all, that I actually considered. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have to be a birth doula to be a postpartum doula?
No, but it's good to know. No, you don't have to be a postpartum. You don't have to be a birth doula to be a postpartum doula.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because that is something for me, like I mentioned to you in our conversation yesterday about that fourth trimester.
Right.
And how that's where the healthy families really are nurtured. And in our society, there are a lot of things that we just got upside down about, women and our health, about what a mother should do, but also about that fourth trimester after the baby is here, and the love and attention that we're giving to the mother, to the family, and to the baby. And we've missed the mark. And I'm big on vision boards. So I have a vision board, birth vision board workshop. I'm actually making into a virtual, we're working on that now to make it a virtual thing. But you were like, okay, look, your birth plan, cool. What's your postpartum plan?
I don't like birth plans.
Because, and the birth plan, for me, the birth plan is more of a prayer. And because anything can happen. We know that. Anything can go down. But what is your plan when that baby comes home, and you and the baby come home, or if you were already at home? Who's coming to assist you? Who's coming to cook the meals, and it always shouldn't be on your partner, spouse, father, because they're entering a new role. If they are working outside the home or whatever, they're coming home. That should be the time to connect,
right?
Not pick up, cook. I mean, you do what you have to do with what you have. I get that, but imagine however many months of care where all you have to do is sleep, nurse, feed, and love on your babies and each other. That to me changes everything. That changes so much. So I that was something that was exciting that you said and got me to thinking about, is that something I need to look into? I don't know.
Yeah, but we have a postpartum doula training that's happening this month. And the sad part is that postpartum doula trainings, at least in this side, don't fill up as much as birth. Birth, like I said, courses are filling up through November, but postpartum, it was like, y'all. So, and now is more of a need for it because of COVID-19, because of, birthing parents birthing alone, postpartum trauma, birth trauma, partner trauma.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lot of trauma, which can potentially lead to depression. And, lactation consultants are needed. They're needed to go into the homes. So there's a lot of things that that really need to be put as an emphasis on the postpartum side. When I was birthing, actively birthing, I was birth focused. Even when I was catching babies with my own hands, I was, myself and my midwifery partner, we had a beautiful balance because I was so focused on mom that when baby came out, I would literally like, okay, and then my midwifery partner would be over there as baby's on mama's chest and she's suctioning and she's stimulated, and I'm like right where I need to be as far as focused and making sure that placenta is guided out nicely and that there's no hemorrhage and all of that. So I understand the call to birth, but that it doesn't stop there.
That's the perspective. It doesn't stop there. The class is not necessarily filling up as the birth, but that's because of the perspective of what it is, of what people think postpartum is, and why it's not seen as, I don't say it's not important, but I think, like I said, people feel like, okay, the baby's here, now that's experience is over. No, it's just beginning.
Yeah.
It's just, what was it?
Labor is easy. Labor is so easy. Let me tell you why, because you got to raise them. Raising them will kick your ass. Can I cuss?
Yes, you can.
Labor will kick your ass.
I'm 16 years in, and
them will. That's why I don't have no hair. Like my kids are grown, but it's like raising them people that came out of my vagina. It's like, good God,
that was the easy part.
Labor is easy, and it's
parenting.
It's physically demanding, but it's in the grand scheme of things, labor is the easy part. The real work begins once they're outside of your body, and it's immediate real work.
Immediate. It's immediate. Said that you're pregnant for 9 months, but you're postpartum for the rest of your life.
Girl, that need to be a shirt.
I gotta find out who said the quote, but that's why I tell people, like, just that whole going back to no. There's no going back to anything. You're creating a new normal, and with each child, if you have more children, it's a new normal after that child, and after. So all of that go back to the body, even your thinking. Like you are in a different role. If you're breastfeeding, different role,
totally different.
Yeah. So please share with us, is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience as far as where you want them to follow the organization, what you want them to look out for, how to get in touch with you?
So they can just find us on Facebook and Instagram at National Black Doulas. And then on, if they're looking to become a doula or if they're looking for a doula, blackdoulas.org. Or you can just type in Black Doulas in Google and we will come right up. Number one, we have never paid for an ad with Google ever. ever. And when I tell you, because of the demand, because of, when you bet on Black, you always win. You always win. So I'm very proud to say, like, we've never had to solicit. We've just
It comes to you.
But see, it also speaks to like the call. I just answered a call. That's all I did. I just answered a call, and it just so happened to be the right place, right time, right way, because there's also a way to do things.
Yes.
To where and the premise is really, not only are we, it's two sides. It's like we are helping to tackle the Black maternal death rate in this country, but also we are teaching, Black women in this work how to have longevity and sustainability and how to run a business. And that's the component that's been missed a lot with us. Mm-hmm. And so because I had been successful in this field, I wanted to be able to give that back. Like, let me show you how. And so I think that's the piece too that a lot of Black birthing professionals are seeking. It's like, yeah, we want the education. Yeah, we're out here, but why are our white counterparts being patronized more than we are? Mm-hmm. And so looking at your business from a different lens will help support your level of being patronized.
Exactly. Well, I am grateful that you answered my call/email to be with me on the show. Yeah, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and I thank you for your time. Mm-hmm. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them in the comments. I will be tagging the association to the comments and to the post of the show. And also, please share this episode with doulas that you know, with moms that you know. They're looking for doulas, so you can go to blackdoulas.org, correct? Mm-hmm. Excellent. Mm-hmm. All righty. I'm going to play my outro music. It's not really my outro, it's just the rest of my theme song. And again, I'm grateful that Tracie Collins, the founder of the National Black Doulas Association, is joining me today. Thank you, Tracie. Thank you all for watching. And stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you again.